Hey, everybody, coming at you with another movie review on our way to watching 100 movies this year in 2026. Again, thank you, Regal Pass. Thank you, Regal Pass, for this opportunity to see all these movies. Where would I be without you, Regal Pass? So I just got back from National Mock Trial with my high school mock trial team in Des Moines, Iowa, and I thought I would do something unusual to celebrate, which is going to the movies. Yeah, all right. So it's an attempted joke, not always very funny, but my mom thinks I'm cool. Sometimes. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Anyway, I went to the Monday Regal Mystery Movie, which was this movie, which is Tuner. Let me show you the poster. Starring Leah Woodall, Havana Rose Liu, Dustin Hoffman, Tova Felcia, Jean Reno is in it. Just a whole great cast of people, great direction, great writing. It's subtle, right? It's branded as a spy thriller. What am I saying? It's branded as kind of an edge of your seat heist thriller. It's got romance in it. It's got, again, I'm a sucker for these movies this year. Found Family. Again, it's the independent films this year and coming out of Canada once again. Canada for the win with another independent film. Wow, I love this string of films this year. It really does feel like we're in the mid 90s independent film rush again. And I would go see this movie. I'm going to tell you some things I liked about it, some things I didn't necessarily like about it. You can make up your own mind. First of all, I'm not going to give away any spoilers for it. I'm just going to kind of tell you the general plot you can see in the trailer. You've basically got this guy, Nicky, played by Leah Woodall, brilliantly, by the way, who is kind of an apprentice, co-worker to Dustin Hoffman's ex-jazz player, arthritis-ridden piano tuner, Harry, who's married to Marla, brilliantly played by Tova Felcia, who I just cannot say enough of how much I love this woman and everything she is in, whether it is in... Sorry, I had to sneeze, so to cut that. So anyway, I love her in Nobody Wants This. I loved her in Walking Dead. I love her in movies. I love her in TV. She's a joy, and she kind of plays this long-suffering, patient wife of Dustin Hoffman's, Harry. It's great. And so the two of them, Nicky and Harry, travel around tuning pianos for much cheaper of a price than they should be worth, just kind of eking it out. Harry's, old school jazz musician talking about records and old jazz greats and life in general. And Leo is afflicted with a condition that makes him allergic to sound, which makes, obviously, the world around him very loud. He has to constantly wear headphones and these sound restrictors in his ears. And obviously, the catch here is he has to play and tune, or has to tune pianos with that affliction. I find it obviously a statement of irony that once again, someone with misophonia like me has to watch this movie while sitting through those Regal popcorn trailers at the beginning. Oh, the pop and the popcorn. Anyway, tunes pianos. Circumstances happen. Harry gets in some trouble. He has to find a way to make some money, and he ends up working for this criminal syndicate. And I think that is pretty much all in the trailer. Making money with them to help out his friend, adopted family of Harry and Marla. Meanwhile, he meets this brilliant but flustered piano composition student named Lucy. And the chemistry between these two, fantastic. And so it's, a thriller. It's a heist movie. It's a found family movie. I'm not going to say a rom-com, but it's definitely a meet cute, and it's a very beautiful relationship that unfolds. Great story, great acting. I liked it. I think if you go back and you look at a couple of the bigger heist movies the last few years where they, tried to pigeonhole in a lot of stereotypes and relationships and quirky characters, this is what I was looking for in movies like Crime 101 and Caught Stealing, which was none of that stuff, but all of this stuff. Even those movies, the character had a quirk, and right, that became his entire personality, and you had to find ways to constantly reference that quirk to remind you that character had that quirk, and everybody they run into reminds them of that quirk. And in this, it's just his affliction that he lives with. It becomes part of him. It's part of his natural character motivation. The relationship between him and Lucy is so simplistic and so beautiful that we don't find that in the other movies, where it kind of feels like a forced chemistry. There's no real kind of meat to the story. It's just, hey, these two people need to be together and they need the romantic interest and stuff. It's just subtle, right? There's a scene where he goes to watch her play, practice her composition, and claps for her. And she comes across the stage and she sits on the stage with him, and it's just subtly beautiful. And the two of them are so great together in this. So, that's a great part. And it actually got me walking wistful on the way home. Like, how do people find each other these days? You know, everybody seems to find somebody, and that stuff. So anyway, that's my own stuff. It was good. What I'd say too is, and again, that's kind of the plot of the movie, and Dustin Hoffman. As I watched him, I kept thinking, gosh, isn't it interesting to see these kind of old stars finding themselves in these independent films where they play these really fun roles, these meaty roles. And then I think, gosh, he was such a staple part of growing up in the movies, right? We always saw Dustin Hoffman. We saw Dustin Hoffman in everything from, uh, Tootsie and on in the movies, right? Ishtar and Dick Tracy, and he was at Hook, and he was just in everything. Dustin Hoffman. I say Kramer versus Kramer. It's one of my favorite Dustin Hoffman movies. And then they just kind of, you know, do these roles here and there. And when you see them again, it's such a refreshing thing. It's like seeing old friends and old family for the first time, and you realize how much you just really miss them being on the screen. And if you want to stop me at this point, wait until I see um, Rick Moranis hit the screen again next year in Spaceballs 2, and I will be a mess when that happens, because Rick Moranis coming back to us. What? Anyway, back to this movie. Dustin Hoffman is so good in the character he plays. Whether it's tuning pianos or giving advice at donut shops, or just all the stuff that happens to him, and how he has always been someone who captures the scene and gives as much as he gets from the characters he's playing against. In this case, Leo Woodall definitely holds his own against Dustin Hoffman, and everything just feels so natural in this film. The relationships feel natural, the action feels natural, the dialogue feels natural. It's really good, and you should really give it a chance to see. It will again make you want for a very simplistic relationship. It'll also make you want for friendship. It'll make you long for adventure, I guess. And it will also keep you on the edge of your seat, because it is a thriller. And I can't tell you much more than that, except when it gets to some things you're going to see, I was leaping out of my seat. I actually hit myself in the chest because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I had to, and then it went silent. And I'm like, oh, that was me thumping my chest because I just had to get it out somehow. Act 1 is a beautiful setup of Nicky's character, why Nicky does what he does, why Harry does what he does, and how he falls in this life of crime. Act 2, I would say, it's kind of the rough part of the movie. There's a lot of editing that probably could have been done. There's some really slow parts and things you're like, yeah, I get it. You could have moved it along a little bit more, but still it's good. And it shows the development of his kind of dual nature, his relationship with the crime family that he's part of, and also his developing relationship with Lucy, and also his constant anchoring of Marla and Harry. Act 3 will have you on your chair. Act 3 will surprise you, shake you awake, everything like that. So anyway, if you get a chance to go see Tuner, definitely go see it. I liked it. I think you'll like it. More people need to give this movie a chance, and hooray for independent films. Hooray!